right, guys, how are we doing tonight? Another quick installment here from Cities and Suburbs. Welcome aboard to all, one and all. And I'll tell you what, if I can say, I think a sad day, not Saturday, but a sad day for the United States of America. And I just wanted to maybe, hopefully, in the next few minutes, bring a little bit of clarification into a lot of the news tonight in terms of, what is an insurrection, what's a rebellion, what's, all this stuff going on. And, but that being said, it is January 13th, and let me see, it is the new moon. Gotta love the new moon. I didn't have a problem with the old one, but, I had a new moon, but bada bing. So Kenny B here, Cities and Suburbs. So it's sad that 20,000 troops right now, 20,000 troops, there's not 20,000 troops surrounding the Capitol building right now. There's troops, the National Guard troops are spread out through Washington, D.C., the District of Columbia, the non-state of the United States. But they're spread out, and, I'm watching the news tonight, too, and a lot of these, maybe because I'm getting older. I am 57, and that's cool. I'm glad I've made it thus far. But, I'm looking at a lot of our younger guys, and, I totally appreciate their dedication and service to the armed forces. And they say that there's more troops in Washington tonight. Federal troops, National Guard. And correct me if I'm wrong with that. I have not been in the service. My father was in the service, Korea. So I get a little fuzzy when it comes to the National Guard and who should actually be fighting foreign wars, but another episode to go. But it says that we have more of federal forces in Washington, D.C. tonight than we do in Afghanistan. Well, I don't think that's a bad thing. Listen to the news tonight, like, whoa, that's a terrible thing. Well, I'm really sick of our troops being deployed over in the Middle East, so that's a good thing. But I think the message is that they're there, the National Guard are there to fight against American people and not a foreign invader, a domestic insurgents, if you will. And and I just wanted to really kind of go on record tonight and, when you talk about a rebellion, a revolution, uprising, a revolt, insurrection, mutiny. So a rebellion implies an open, formidable resistance that is often unsuccessful. So the British would call the Americans rebels. All right. However, we would call ourselves revolutionaries. Applies to a successful rebellion resulting in a major change as in government. Okay? Uprising implies a brief, limited, and often immediately ineffective rebellion. You see how all these, what's the right synonym? Sorry, guys. Insurrection imply an armed uprising. Now, this is what is today that Donald J. Trump was impeached for a second time. We'll pick that up in a second. But insurrection implying an armed uprising that quickly fails or succeeds, a revolt. Mutiny applies to a group of insubordination or insurrection, especially against a naval authority. So what happens now? An impeachment, if you look at what an impeachment is an indictment. Okay? We're charging you with these crimes. Now, in this case, the President of the United States, or a political figure in some cases, still has full access to constitutional rights. They are not put in jail. They are not, they go on, they get up in the morning, they have their, the best part of waking up is, Folgers in your cup. They do the jam and toast thing, and they're off, if they can do so in good conscience. So that's just an indictment, okay? Then it goes to the Senate. The Senate, that is actually, in this case, the impeachment goes to the fact-finding, the actual conviction, based on the facts of the articles of impeachment that came from Congress. Now, the Vice President, a few days ago, could have enacted the 25th Amendment, saying that, basically just for, not to water it down, but hey, this dude's out of his mind, this person's out of their mind, it doesn't, they need to go. But the way politics are today, people are so connected, and this whole thing with the Trump White House right now, and the Trump administration, and the people that are attached to him have political careers, which, we can go back to the Constitution about having a political career. Probably the aides that serve most politicians last longer than the politicians themselves, but so the voting today, I think it was 222 or to 197 to impeach or indict the President of the United States on the incitement of an insurrection. So I just gave you the definitions of an insurrection. And also disrupted the Congress legitimizing the ballots from every state in the United friggin' States. So they incite the seated president right now for a lot of things, and I get that. But, I went back to a clip the other day about Maxine Walters, just to be clear, I mean, she was back in the day inciting people to, yell at people in public places that were in support of Donald Trump, So let's think about this. So what's the real issue here right now? Will Donald J. Trump be convicted? That's up to the Senate right now. He was handed down charges, okay, inciting insurrection, encouraging insurrection, and also, not holding up the office. We'll see how that turns out, and that can get political. I mean, the Chief Justice, the Chief of the Supreme Court, presides over this thing, as well as the Vice President of the United States, which is, want to get this right, but they are the Senate President, which is generally the Vice President of the United States. So, guys, we're going to see how this turns out, but let's think about this. Right now, we're encroaching on 385,000 deaths due to COVID and related to COVID. We have every day, you and I, we get $600 in the mail. Woo! You know how many people I already know that have blown through that? So we're watching all this, and I am sad as someone who's voted for a very long time. I'm an American. You know, I expect people to work hard in this country, but if you can't, I mean, I'll be there to help you out any way I can, you know, and change the conditions of why you don't have an opportunity. So there's real problems every day, and your ABCs, the CNN, and that's why I really wanted to get into tonight about, you know, the definitions of what, you know, an insurrection, a revolution, and, you know, all these words that are being used. Our Capitol building was stormed, and that was ridiculous, and it shouldn't have happened. And yes, I believe it was encouraged. To say the least, let's move on to, in 2021, let's get your personal needs met, all right? We certainly all need something, you guys, and it's gonna be Kenny B here ditching out. Thanks a lot, and we'll talk to you soon. All right, peace.